Well, hello there, and in this video we are doing another GeoGuessr challenge, and this time we are looking at pedestrian crossing signs, and the aim of this video is to get the correct country just by looking at the pedestrian crossing signs. You guys can also play along, links down below, and also feel free to subscribe if you want more of this content. But yep, we're going to do 4 different maps. Let's jump straight into it and begin. Okay, so this pedestrian crossing sign is quite one of my favourites. It's a very unique one. It's got like this very square Bart Simpson kind of head. But I call it the Roblox mannequin. And this mannequin is unique to Belgium. So we're in Belgium, and also we've got the orange signpost, which is quite distinct to Belgium when you see it. So this is pretty straightforward. So we'll go straight into Belgium from this. Whereabouts in Belgium? Just go capital, because why not, mate? And send. Yep, it'll do. Slide stuff. On to round number 2. Okay, so for this round, it is very straightforward again. Although this is not specific to this one country. So some pedestrian crossing signs in Europe will have this white marker, and we call this the waist belt. And this is found in quite a few countries. So you've got some in the Balkans, so like Croatia, North Macedonia. You can get it in Monte as well. There may be other ones that I'm forgetting, but the most common one, really, whenever I see it, it's Croatia. So whenever you're in a BR, when you see one of these, it's probably a good chance you're in Croatia. But a good way to confirm this is looking at the other plates. And as you can tell, this has got all the white plates. And another good BR tip, or just tip in general for Croatia, they do like the blue hydrants. And most of the time when you see a blue hydrant, you should be in Croatia. Although you can get, obviously, anomalies, or sometimes you get them in like Serbia or neighbouring countries. But 9% of the time, when you have this sign and the white plates, you should be in Croatia. And obviously the blue water hydrant is also not ruling it out either. So we'll just go Zagreb. I presume that these all are in capital, and just move on. Yep, solid stuff. Round number 3. Okay, so this is a bit more tricky. So we've got a very strong dark blue kind of background this time. I mean, that kind of gives it bloody away. But if you're curious, you can get variation in the blue background. Although, in my tip video, which you can check in the description, I do not use it because obviously with new generation footage, updates, there's going to be variation with how the colours are going to look, or the colour in general. But generally when I have got like a proper strong blue like this, I consider like Turkey, I consider Romania. Those are the main 2 that come into my head. But I mean, we've got language here, which is clearly Turkish. We've got a Turkey flag. But in this situation, I will go Turkey anyway, based off. I mean, the pedestrian sign. Does this look like Romania? No. Does it look like Turkey? Yes. So I can't really add much to that. But obviously, I'm going to send this, and I'm going to stick with capital guessing, just because it doesn't really matter. Yep, solid stuff. Round number 4. Okay, so this is not a really good camera, is it? But we've got pedestrian crossing signs. Let's have a look at the. Okay, so we've got the pedestrian crossing sign that has the very small head on the top. And you tend to find this a lot in Italy and Albania, I believe. You can also get it in other countries where it overlaps, or it's a rarity. You can also get a very similar one in Romania as well, and other places in the Balkans. But the head is slightly bigger, or the mannequin's just thicker in general, and they're not as thick. The breadsticks are the legs, by the way. I don't think they are as thick in Italy compared to like Romania, for example. But here we've got Generation 2 camera, so that rules out the Balkans anyways. Well, most of the time. And we've got the blue on the back, And I presume we've got blue front plates with a short plate as well, which we do there. So we're in Italy, and of course we're capital guessing, so we're going to go Milan. And it wasn't, it was Genoa, but I'm only guessing pedestrian crossing signs here. Okay, so this round, this is Netherlands straight off the bat, because with the Netherlands, it's a different pedestrian crossing sign. Like, if you look at the legs, they're a lot more rectangular, I would say, than rounded. And it's got like this very short hand on the right, and the hand is slightly pointing, and it's quite a unique stop sign. If you compare it with France's, France doesn't really have like this short hand, and the legs are different too. So it's good confirmation from it in the Netherlands, and of course we've got yellow plates on the vehicles, which is another good point. But of course we're just going to go near Amsterdam here, because it probably is somewhere. It's probably not Amsterdam. I think it's probably more like Rotterdam or something, but it can be just Amsterdam. It's just Amsterdam. So yep, that is the first game done. Let's move on to the second game. Okay, brilliant. So as I mentioned before, we've got a much darker kind of pedestrian crossing sign. So based on that matter of fact, Romania Turkey is a good shout, but this looks a lot more Romanian than Turkey based on the architecture anyway. So I would go Romania here. And we've got actually quite a few clues actually, never mind. So we've got Romanian flags, we've also got a unique Romania stop sign, a giveaway or yield sign. And as you can tell, it's got a very small white triangle, and the red outline is very thick. So that's unique to Romania if you did not know that. But yeah, pretty straightforward. I mean, there's not really much point of panning round, but I mean, we've got a whole pole as well for good measure. But we'll just send Bucharest and move on. And it isn't, but I'm not too fussed. Okay, round number 2. Okay, this is a very distinct pedestrian crossing sign. So how I remember this is that the pedestrian is like kind of faced on, bang in the middle. It's not like walking across the side, it's just like standing in the middle of the zebra crossing. And this one is very unique to Denmark. So it's like a normal 5 zebra, but the mannequin's this, like what I said before, it's kind of straight in your face, different shape. I mean, you'll get used to it. The more you practice, the more you get used to these subtle differences. And you get this one in Denmark and in the Faroes, but of course this can't be the Faroes. So this is somewhere in Denmark, and I'm just going to go somewhere in Oslo. Not Oslo, sorry. Oslo, that's Norway. Near Copenhagen, sorry. But it was all dense, so it's fine. The third round, we're not in Europe, and the reason why we know that is because we've got the yellow diamond instead of like the typical blue background. So usually the blue background on the pedestrian signs is confirmation you're in Europe, or it has some kind of European influence. But this round, we're in America. We've got Spanish as well, so the Americas, and it's very flat. We've got no black dots on the plate. Rule out Argentina. It shouldn't be Argentina. And the other one I'm thinking here is like Uruguay. It doesn't feel like a Brazil. And also, I mean, it's not Portuguese, and obviously the other places, it could be a Peru or a Chile, I guess, but it looks very Uruguayan to me. So I'm just going to send Montevideo instead. Yep, straightforward. Let's move on to the next round. So round number 4. Okay, this is another Americas. We've got the diamond sign again, driving right, but it's more hilly this time, so we can rule out Uruguay. We've got, I think it's a white car, if I'm correct. So we should be like either in like Bolivia, Peru, or Chile. But that's not always reliable. It's always good to check around. We've got brick buildings, so maybe it's like a Bolivia of some sort. The blue text plates make me feel Bolivia, but it could be a Peru or Chile. I don't see the Chilean poles. I don't see any strong yellow plates for Peru either. So I'm going to go Bolivia. And if it's here like this, I'm just going to go La Paz. But it could be Cochabamba, it could be Sucre. But it's interesting because it looks like it's got two different capitals. It's either La Paz or Sucre. Do I go Sucre? Nah, I'm just going to go La Paz. Yep. So the blue text and plates help me there, but another South America sound with a diamond. And another South America sound with a diamond. So you kind of get the pattern here. This round, yeah, Spanish as well. I guess it's trying to see if there's any black dots. I don't see any black dots on those vehicles, unless it's far away. So I can't guarantee that. Black car confirms Argentina, Uruguay, Peru. No black dots. I presume it's not Argentina, and it's super flat, so it's probably Uruguay again. And I'm just going to go to the same place. I'm still going to go Montevideo. Or Montevideo, sorry. And send. Yep, and it was Montevideo. So, another solid stuff. And that is the second game done. So let's move on to game number 3. Rightio, so now we're starting the third game. And we have got a very unique pedestrian crossing sign for Europe. So, how I remember this is you've got 2 clues here. You've got the 5 zebra stripes and you've got the long legs. And not many people pay attention to the long legs, and also this white line makes the legs seem longer too. And this is unique to Latvia. And how can you use this sign to separate it from the other Baltic countries? Well, zebras are the main factor. So Latvia is the only one in the Baltics that won't have 3 zebras. So it will have 5. And also the Lithuania one is a different mannequin. It's like the Russian-Ukraine, so the robotic, kind of Terminator looking mannequin. And as well as that, you've got Estonia, which has the head attached. And of course, Latvia has the long legs, which, to be honest, that white stripe, that white stripe is very distinctive. If you see this white stripe, you should be in Latvia no matter where you are, unless something changes. So we'll just send Latvia. I'm just gonna go capital because it doesn't matter where, and we can move on. Okay, so next round. Interesting. So we don't have any zebras, but this is not a normal pedestrian crossing sign. So sometimes you can get ones that have dashes anyways, and these ones you can't really use that much unless it's a country specifically that doesn't have zebras. And from my memory, I think this country has occasionally got normal zebras, but the mannequin's fairly unique, to be fair. But like I say, it's technically in the Balkans, a lot of overlap. But this is Slovenia, and I'll tell you why it's Slovenia with other additional tips. So the other place that you could think here is like an Austria or maybe like somewhere else in the Balkans, but the yellow sign here, the very green mountains, feels somewhat is that a rift? Am I getting mugged here? Am I getting mugged here? Because this does not feel like Mont. But those are rifts. This is not Mont, is it? This can't be Mont. This has to be Slovenia. Is this just Mont? I'm confused. Why is there rifts in the sky? It doesn't feel like Mont. I'm going to ignore the rifts. It could be bait, but I mean, to be fair, I don't really normally see these type of pedestrian signs in Slovenia. So if it is, it's something new. But this feels very Slovenian. So don't get why there's rifts. But it might be a strange Mont. But I don't know what's going on there. Let's send. Oh, it was okay. So you can get that. I thought that was Slovenia. So maybe. I guess you get those yellow speed limit signs quite fairly often, or sometimes in Mont, I guess. But I was confused there. I mean, from that pedestrian sign, we're all going to Slovenia anyway, so that's why I sent it. But yeah, that was strange. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't feel like a normal Mont round. But obviously the rifts are a big clue to use. I mean, I was still gonna go Slovenia here just to test it was an anomaly. But yeah, I guess you can get that pedestrian crossing sign in different Balkan countries. So that's another thing to be aware of. Is that my tip video? There's quite a few signs that I found in certain countries that I didn't find in other ones. And just because I say that these were only found doesn't mean that they aren't found in the other countries. So you're bound to find other pedestrian crossing signs. Because obviously I can't scan the whole country. But for this round, we got the small heads again. But yeah, I mean, it seems fairly straightforward, to be honest. I mean, we can have a look around if we want to, but to be honest, I'm not actually sure. Actually, I thought I was at first, but this is another Balkans country, so this is the overlap kicking game. We've got the short hair, which is called in the Balkans and like Italy. There's slight differences between Italy and them, but Generation 4, Romania is one, and Bulgaria is another. I mean, I'm looking around, and I think this is Romanian. So, I mean, Romania makes sense because obviously the dark blue background, and that was my initial gut anyway. But I was confused at first because the yellow car is obviously the blue car with the antenna, and that's quite specific to like normally a Bulgaria or what's the other one, Hungary. So I was a bit confused when I saw that, but my first gut was Romania, so we can send it. Yep, so that's good. I still could get over that round. That was a very straightforward round. But we move on. So the fourth round, we've got another pedestrian crossing sign, of course. We'll look into it. It's a bit of a figurehead. I don't know what I can use from this. It's a tricky one. It can't be Hungary. It can't be. I mean, it's probably Romania again. It's probably Romania again because of the dark sign. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is Romania again. Yeah, it has to be. But on this one, you can tell there's a much thicker breadsticks on the sign compared to this one. Yeah, I think this is just Romania. So if we just send the capital and move on, I guess. It's probably Constanta. It feels quite close to for some reason, but we've got some hills. Probably wrong. Let's send. Nope, just Brasov. Still Romania. Pretty straightforward. Final round. I mean, I can tell what country is already, but a very unique pedestrian crossing sign. So when you have a yellow triangle with a blue square background, this yellow triangle is unique to Iceland. So you're in Iceland here. I mean, we could pinpoint if we want to, but I'm not going to bother. But yeah, that is a unique pedestrian crossing sign for Iceland, and we'll just send someone near Reykjavik, although I presume it's somewhere around this part. Or maybe not, complete wrong side. But yeah, so that's the third game done, and we can move on to the final game. Let's begin. Sorry, I can't speak English. So round number 1, we've got a. Should I not go capital this time? I'm doing non-capital country guessing now. So let's restart. So this round, 5 zebras. If we look at the buildings, Nordic or Scandinavian, we've also got this yellow outline, which is unique to this country. I'm going to say in a minute. And the at sign's unique. But the main thing here is we're in Scandinavia. The next thing is we've got yellow signs. So that means Iceland, Finland, or Sweden. We've got generation 2, so it can't be Iceland. So it's either Finland or Sweden. And we look at the zebras on this pedestrian crossing sign. If it has 5, you are in Finland. But if you have 4, you are in Sweden. So in Finland here, and it doesn't feel like a capital anyway, so I presume it's probably like it's probably Tampere. That sound it feels right, so let's just send it. Yep, nice one. Wasn't sure, but it was Finland anyway. It doesn't really matter. Round number 2. Okay, so we've got 4 zebras here, and that's quite common to get these random 4 uneven zebras in Bulgaria. And I can't really see the hat here. There should be a hat. There's a sticker on top of it, and I'm pretty sure this is Sofia. But remember, we're not doing capital guesser, and it might not even be the capital. It doesn't feel like the capital anyway. But this is Bulgaria, the Cyrillic as well. But yeah, Bulgaria do like having the 4 zebras, so be aware of that. But be aware as well that it does not mean it's only in Bulgaria. I hope I didn't say Serbia then, but Bulgaria. But be aware Balkans pedestrian crossing signs are an absolute nightmare. So don't always fully trust me on that. So in terms of Bulgaria, where would I go? Plodding, if you don't feel like that. Pleven? Pleven. I want to Pleven. Let's send it. Okay, it was Sylvan. Will do. Still Bulgaria. Straightforward. Okay, round number 3. Let's have a look. We've got a hat. So that's quite handy. So it can't be Hungary. Czechia is a good shout. Slovakia is a good shout. It's one of the 2. I would probably say, Oh, it's got Generation 4. You can't use Generation 4 anymore, but I mean, I don't know what the hell that plays. But I'm not sure actually. It's like a Czechoslovakia. Yeah, it has to be Czechia because with Czechia you get these blue and red door numbers. So we're in Czechia. So the hat is quite common to get in Czechia, but be aware you can get it in other countries. But you won't get zebras in Hungary, so that's a good way of ruling out Hungary in that situation. Whereabouts Czechia feels fairly flat, so I'm just gonna go here. It was actually the capital. Okay, game. So round number 4, we have a pedestrian crossing sign, and it is 4, and it's one of the more up-to-date ones, and I know that specifically because of my tip video. But Nordic houses, Son, that is very distinctive. And is there anything else we can use? And the green plate is unique to this country as well. So the thing we can use here is, first of all, we're in Scandinavia. Second of all, we have a 4 zebra pedestrian crossing sign. We can rule out Finland. So we're either in Norway or Sweden. And when you have Son on the speed limit signs, you should be in Norway. And as well as that, when you have green plates on working vehicles, you are in Norway as well. So we're in Norway, southern Norway for sure. I can't go Oslo because that's a rule, so I will go Drammen. And it is Oslo, of course. We move on to the final round. And this is a very distinctive one. So, like we mentioned about belts before, this one's higher up than it was in the Croatia round. And we've got the 5 zebras. I mean, the mannequin's different as well, just a thing to note. But if you use this environment, you've probably got like a West Europe, Spanish, French, or Portuguese vibe. Portugal is the one that will have a belt, so you're in Portugal. And also Spain will have 8 zebras instead of 5. You could probably find a Portuguese plate with the yellow strip, yes. And we also have a Portuguese stop sign, which is bigger text than the Spain one, and different font. And if you want to learn more about stop signs, feel free to check out my video on my channel. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Portugal is probably near Lisbon, but the rule is I can't go Lisbon. So we'll go somewhere away from Lisbon, to the next biggest place that's not part of Lisbon, I don't think. I'm just going to go... Let's go in the lake. I want to go in the lake for the culture. And yeah, so pretty straightforward stuff, and that is it. So hope you guys found this video useful. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe. Yeah, of course.